So Trump has now pulled Florida ads as the campaign is entering final week. I don't know what this means, but
such a big
it can't be good. I don't know why. It's not like Florida is stable for Trump. Either they're seeing like internal numbers that are so solid for the Trump camp. No, there's no way he expects it to lose. No. Okay, everyone. Here's how this doesn't work. Okay? Trump has no pathway to victory without Florida or Pennsylvania. Okay? He needs those. And then on top of that, he's trying to scrounge up as many fucking electoral college votes as he can. That's why he's going to Maine to pick up the additional district electoral college votes that you get from Maine and Nebraska. Same with Nebraska. He's going to Omaha today.
Right back to mommy.
Okay?
To get your milk.
So his goal is probably to get as close as he possibly can to a deadlock, to literally just a deadlock fucking perfectly equal number of electoral college voters, or potentially win by like 1 or 2 if he could. He's just going to claim fraud and send it to the Supreme Court. Now, I'm going to talk about that already. Just hold on. It could be that someone else picking up the slack. Biden pulled ads out of Texas and Bloomberg bought a huge block of them instead. Saves the campaign money. Florida is not a lock. Florida is certainly not a lock for Joe Biden, and I personally think that Donald Trump will win Florida. I hope I'm wrong, but I do think Donald Trump is going to win Florida. I think this election, okay, fuck it, I'm saying it. This is something I've been talking to Austin behind the camera for a while, but I personally think this election is going to be decided on Pennsylvania. I think that Donald Trump is probably going to win Florida, whether by utilizing the courts, or by literally just winning it outright. Nope, read 538. Okay, well, I'm wrong. All right, I'm probably wrong. You guys know better. I don't know shit. This is just my opinion. All right.
His name is Hasan.
Buoyed by fundraising, Biden holds 3-1 edge in recent spending. Focus shifts on northern states where he prevailed in 2016.
Wet ass.
So he's all but pulled its ads out of Florida as it stakes its relatively small bank account to the industrial northern states that carried him to victory in 2016. Since the beginning of the fall campaign on Labor Day, Trump has cut $24 million from his national ad budget, while former VP Joe Biden has added $197 million. .538 has Pennsylvania at 33% chance of being the tipping point, so chat's wrong. Yeah. Can you explain your opinion on Pennsylvania? Yes, I can. If Ryan Grimm and I have had this conversation already, if you guys watch me enough, you know this already. If Ryan Grimm brought this to my attention first, if all of the new voters in Pennsylvania are uneducated, or non-college educated white men that are going out to the fucking polls and pushing for Trump might have a chance of outperforming the polls by a significant margin. Okay?
His name
Trump is down to 20 plus
Hasan.
points in Philly suburbs compared to 2016. We used the PA Dem State House, same pollsters, so got some insight on this. Ain't worried at all about Biden and PA. Now, that is an unlikely scenario. What I'm mentioning here is an unlikely scenario. But you can't say the same about Florida. I think Donald Trump is going to win Florida. I think Donald Trump is going to win Florida, and he's going to win Florida because of black and brown voters in Florida. And then the election is going to come down to Pennsylvania. He's going to try and call the election November 3rd. Wisconsin Supreme Court ruling is the first step. No, you can't do that. By the way, guys, for those of you who don't know, and Donald Trump is literally in the group of people who don't know, so it's understandable that you don't know either. Elections have never been called on the night of. That's not how it happens. It's never happened in the history of the United States of America. Are you fucking insane? How many voting videos have we watched by like secretaries of state explaining the process to you? It doesn't work that way. It has never worked that way. The only people that call it night of are the media. Does Donald Trump really think that the media can carry him then? It doesn't work that way. Those aren't the official results. Okay? Elections are officially called usually a week or 2 weeks after, maybe even a month after. Election night results are basically just media predictions on what information they're getting. All right? Because like the percentage of the percentage of votes coming in from different counties, especially weighed across like previous years and their performances, will show people, and exit polls will show people, or the media rather, what the outcome is going to look like. That's how they call it on the night of. But that doesn't mean that's how it works. There is no process in which, and I tweeted about this last night too, there's no process in which like someone says, I am officially calling it, like some state official officially calls it on November 3rd, the night of. That doesn't work. So that concept actually favored Republicans in the 2000s. We've been talking about this for a while since the Bad Faith podcast, as you all know, even before RBG died.
It's been 9 months.
But the New York Times Daily finally covered it as well. So I'm sure a lot of liberals are now coming to terms with that reality more than before. So as far as like night of reporting goes, the 2000 Florida election was originally called for, I think, by NBC for Al Gore, and then as the night went on, they switched it around, and Fox News was basically the last, and other media outlets literally followed NBC's call and gave it to Al Gore originally. Then they said it was a toss-up when new votes started coming in. And I think it was like, what, 1,300 votes or something that George Bush was the night of ahead of Al Gore. And Fox News called it for George Bush. And then every other outlet started calling it for George W. Bush as well, following Fox News' strategy. And then Al Gore literally called George Bush and conceded on the phone, only to find out that the margin of victory was so tiny that you could absolutely have a recount there.
His name is Hasan.
So that's how it works. Al Gore rescinded his original concession call, and history. The rest is history. You already know Brooks Brothers riots, blah blah blah, stopping an additional recount in numerous counties. You have the butterfly ballots, the hanging chads, all that good stuff. I'm not going to fully get into it. We've talked about it a million fucking times over. And then you have the Brooks Brothers riots led by Republican operatives to make it seem like it was a grassroots campaign. So the reason why the 2000 Florida election and the reason why the 2000 Florida toss-up is so significant now is because, one, 3 of the fucking Supreme Court justices that sit on the Supreme Court currently were literally directly involved in stopping recounts as a part of like George W. Bush's campaign. Like they worked with the GWB campaign as lawyers to stop the recount. So that's one thing. The other is all of those other like people that were involved in a riot were Bush operatives or literally went on to get jobs in the Bush administration. So just remember that as well. And lastly, the reason why it's significant is because they're going to try to do the exact same thing. There was a conservative majority. The Supreme Court said, yep, we're not going to do the fucking, we are not going to do a recount. We're stopping the recount. We're following through with that halting of the recount. And inevitably, Al Gore was forced to concede because he's a gigantic pussy and he didn't want to fight any further in order to preserve the integrity of our democracy. Thank you, Al Gore. Now I'm going to read what iDigital said a while ago. Poll election frog jumping in. I've been doing a lot of research on Florida, and it comes down to if Miami-Dade turns out. If Democrats get their statewide turnout percentage in 2016, 74 to 80%, they win. If not, they lose. But from all my math, my hot take is GA is going blue, left of Florida. And Texas has a good chance of being left to Florida too because of Hispanics and black votes, and Florida is stupid.
Consistency
yes.
in these uncertain times, Hassel.
The American people are tired of women.
So pretty much what's going to happen, in my opinion, is because of black and brown voter turnout, being lower or on the lower end in Miami-Dade, but then also surprisingly, and this is my suspicion, but especially brown, but black and brown voter turnout higher for the Republican Party in Florida, I think, is going to give Donald Trump Florida. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? I think that there is stuff that we haven't. There's stuff that we haven't accounted for, which is like genuine misinformation pushed by Republican operatives, pushed by the Republican operatives, pushed by Fox News, pushed by Facebook on like all of these psychotic fucking QAnon shit, specifically targeting black and brown communities. I think it has been really effective. Should tell Ryan right now that non-college educated whites are 6 points lower in turnout as a percentage point. At this point, compared to 2016, he's in a lot of trouble. Dude, okay, well, I don't know if that's for Pennsylvania as well. You understand that we're talking about Pennsylvania specific when we talk about non-college educated whites. And secondly, if you're talking about national polls, that's understandable. But secondly, of course, this point in comparison to previous years is an idiotic comparison. And as I'm sure you know this, H-Bizzle. And the reason for that is because it's a fucking pandemic and we have universal mail-in ballots now. And the ease of access to voting early, unlike ever before. So I think that while turnout is insanely high in comparison to 2016, of course it's going to be insanely high at this point in comparison to 2016. I think that day of voter turnout is going to be much, much, much lower and readjust to 2016 levels, maybe higher than 2016 ultimately. Okay? Biden is leading above the margin of error in Pennsylvania. Recent polls show Biden up nearly by 7 to 8 points in the state. Biden is polling way better than Hillary in both Philly suburbs and rural parts of the state like Erie County, Eastern PA, which helps reduce Trump from running up the numbers in those rural areas. Dems have spending advantage in the states as well, but by a very wide margin, and also have the advantage in district level polling. Ryan Grimm literally wrote an article about this. Swing County, USA. Yeah, he talks to Fetterman a lot. He's literally talked to Fetterman before as well. I mean, he's big on tracking Pennsylvania. I think Pennsylvania is going to be
you're such a big man,
the state that wins this election. People's Pundit disagrees with that PA take. The problem with saying that is a bad take is that right now a lot of GOP voters who turned out in 2016 aren't early voting, so make up a 6% difference. The Trump campaign is making a bet on one day, election day, because Emperor Cheeto had sabotaged their early vote and absentee operations. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. And I think part of the reason why he did that is a tactical decision. Undermine the legitimacy of mail-in ballots, purge as many mail-in ballots as possible by utilizing the courts. And the Supreme Court literally just decided that Wisconsin can't have any votes cast by mail that come in after the election day, even if they're postmarked before election day. They're not going to be counted. So they're going to do this in Wisconsin. They already, I think, set it up for Pennsylvania as well. And that should give you an idea of like why Donald Trump is pushing for same-day voting. Okay? The reason why they're pushing for same-day voting is because their strategy now, and as I've said this literally for a month now, if you've been paying attention, I've been saying this for literally a month. Their goal is to purge as many mail-in ballots as they fucking possibly can. They're going to do this by saying that, sorry, sucks to suck. Your mail is not counted because it was received after the date.
Pervert.
Sorry, sucks to suck, but like there are many different, there are numerous problems with your mail-in ballot. Sorry, sucks to suck. You don't have a secrecy ballot. You know what I mean? On your, you didn't put the fucking secrecy envelope in your mail-in ballot in Pennsylvania. It doesn't matter. Oops. Doesn't matter if you signed it. We're not going to count it. So they're going to do that. And with mail-in ballots, you have, and I've said this a million times over, you have a lot more problems. There are a lot more complications with mail-in ballots that you would normally not have with a regular ballot that you write on the day of or punch in on the day of at a polling station. So that's the issue. And Trump is going to try to use that to his advantage to make sure that the races are as close as possible. Okay? He's going to do that as close. He's going to make sure that he'll do that so that he can get, he can heighten the importance of same-day voting. There's evidence of a 2 to 8 point swing of Hispanics to Trump, which would suck but not ruin Biden because Biden is running 10 points better with whites, especially college and women. Blacks are showing no movement, still 6.8 for Trump here. That being said, we will know the result of Florida on election night by 11 p.m. EST. If Biden wins Florida, it's over.
His name
yes.
is Hasan.
If Joe Biden wins Florida, which I don't think he will, but if he does win Florida, it's a wrap. If Joe Biden doesn't win Florida, which I think is what's going to happen, we have to pay close attention to Pennsylvania, and that's where the election will be decided. Then you can move on to Arizona and other places, of course, as well. But yes, is Joe Biden toast if he loses Pennsylvania? Michigan and Wisconsin have been the focus of a lot of attention from nervous Democrats the past 4 years, in part because Hillary Clinton spent relatively little time there. Both states so told Democrats that Joe Biden would be up by 7 points in Wisconsin and 8 points in Michigan in polls a week ago. They'd feel, actually, who are we kidding? They'd still feel pretty nervous. That's true. I still feel pretty nervous, but I do think that he's going to win Wisconsin and Michigan. I do think that Joe Biden will win Wisconsin and Michigan. Pennsylvania is not looking good for Biden with those confused statements on fracking. No, that's bullshit. Okay? That's fucking bullshit. The problem with fracking isn't fracking. Okay? The problem with Biden's statements about fracking is not whether he's like back and forth on fracking. The problem is so many Rust Belt places and states. And by the way, get ready for H. Bizzle to say 100% without a doubt Hasan is right here. Okay? This is literally what he does for a living. The problem with the Rust Belt is that these states had built-in organizing, okay? It's not whether or not these hard hat wearing, salt of the earth kind of guys were fucking truly interested in, trans bathroom bills or whatever. It was that there was a democratic infrastructure built into the unions. So if you were a union guy and you worked in a coal mine or if you worked in the fucking steel mill in Pittsburgh or whatever, you had a union and your union was like, yeah, of course you're going to fucking vote Democrat. What are you, stupid? I'm not going to vote for those scumbags. So what happened? When those jobs got eviscerated, there was no more union there. There was no more organization. So Donald Trump came in and did identity politics for Republicans and for reactionaries. And more importantly than that, though, he spoke to these people personally and said, I'm going to bring back jobs for you. I'm going to, instead of saying, we're going to re-educate you or whatever the fuck.
Sibling to QAnon.
Okay?
Thanks for the sanity check, girl.
So he came in and he said, we're going to bring back jobs. We're going to fight China. China took all your jobs. We're going to fight them personally. Okay. We're going to get in a fist fight with China. And those guys no longer had the union to be like, don't listen to this fucking idiot. That's why so many, I'm a lifelong Democrat and my parents were lifelong Democrat guys turned around and were like, yeah, we're not voting for the fucking Democrats anymore. We're voting for this guy. Because there was no infrastructure for them anymore. When you have no unions, it's not whether it's fracking or any other industry. It's the fucking unions, stupid. Okay? That's it. I agree with this take, and Chad, Hasan and I have discussed a lot. His take is exactly my take. Also, unions have become scared to talk with their members outside of our union. That's it. It's the unions. When you don't have unions, you lose support within the otherwise reactionary fucking hard hat wearing fracking Andes, okay? I live in Florida, panhandle Trump country during 2016. In my experience, if Florida can make the wrong choice, they will. They think Trump is to lose. I think it's Trump's to lose. Yeah. No, hail Vanu. I'm not too busy to notice your ANCAP. Stupid.
This is a deranged pervert.
Thank you for calling me stupid. I literally didn't know if those Biden statements had any weight on Pennsylvania. I'm from EU anyway. I know. I'm just... Union workers can't think for themselves, Pepega. If the union is fucking strong and someone is telling you, no, we got to vote for the Democratic Party, of course we vote Democrat because the Republicans want to dismantle our unions, then yeah, of course they're going to fucking collectively vote for whatever the union reps tell them to vote for. Obviously, that's not always a one-to-one. Clearly, union members aren't fucking morons, as demonstrated by Nevada. If you remember, one of my earliest locks, like 100% without a doubt, was Nevada, where I said, it's fucking bullshit that all of these other MSNBC and like liberal media companies are saying that Bernie Sanders is fucking fans are actually putting Nevada at risk or whatever. And I was like, no, that's not true. Those on the ground do not agree with the union leaders. And Bernie, because of Chuck Rocha as well, did a very good job of communicating, especially to the union members there, especially the Hispanic union members there, that no, Medicare for all is better for you. Don't listen to your fucking leaders. And what happened? Guess what? In all the fucking caucuses, they went for Bernie instead of any other person. Going literally against their own union reps. They're going against their own union leaders. So it's not always the case. It has to also make sense, is what I mean. Just wanted to share that I signed the Oxford COVID research program in the UK and will be getting a free test every week along with 25 pounds for more help. Wish me luck, Chief. All right.
Man,
All right, Chief. Experts say don't rely on the USPS at this point anymore. Don't vote by mail after today. Oh, yeah, that's true. Do not rely on vote by mail after today. This is the last day that you can... That's it. This is the last day that I would even go so far as to not use it is quid, not pounds. Sorry. Also, top of the hour, every hour, 60-second ad break coming to you live. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a top of the hour, every hour, 60-second ad break right now. It's starting currently. And if you want to avoid that, you can subscribe or, there's other ways that you can figure out how to fucking avoid the ads.
Oh, you're such a big man, Hasan.
Trump's camp's logic for pulling out Florida is that he needs a national swing so large to win that Florida wouldn't be in play anymore, so further money spent there is a waste. No.
Oh, you're such a big man, Hasan.
The narrative in Florida, big wave of our voters on election day is trending around to be false. Last polls have 15 of 18% of Republicans voting on election day, same near as D. Everyone is early voting there. Currently, Dems have 50.4 turnout. Republicans have 45.8. By election day, we could only have 20% of each party left to go law. Indies are voting less at 34 at the moment, which is normal.
His name is Hasan.
Trump accused Biden of backing Medicare for all, saying Biden agreed with Sanders. To Biden, which replied, I beat Sanders. The message of the reply was clear. Biden is Trump with a human face, and despite their opposition, they share the same enemy.
Oh, you're such
this
a
is liberalist
man,
opportunism at its worst. Renounce the left extremists out of fear of not scaring the center, says Zizek. Oh, wow. Maybe people will pay more attention to what I have to say, even if I don't look like a dumpster diving raccoon with a very interesting accent. All the fucking... all the hyper leftists who adore Zizek, and I like Zizek, I think he's an entertaining person, will maybe pay closer attention to my takes on that issue. Because I talk about literally exactly that all the fucking time. Trump at his rally just said 3 weeks in, Biden gets shot, Harris becomes president. Wait, really? Oh, according to Ryan Grimm, apparently Texas is now regarded as a toss-up. Texas House rating changes. After reviewing the final TC filings, we have 17 rating changes in the Texas House, all favoring Democrats. As a result of these changes below, There is a 46.1 D majority, 5.7% chance that it's a tie, and 48.2% Republican majority.
Oh, you're such a big man, Hasan.
It was no longer lean. Jesus Christ. This is why I don't fucking move out here. But hey, by the way, for the record, this is why I don't move to Texas, okay? This is literally it. I'm sorry. Like, I can't, like, even if I fucking lived right here, I am way too close to all this other shit where, like, some fucking psychopath could just, like, very easily drive for, like, 3.5 hours to come and shoot me, okay?
His name is Hasan.
No one lives in the red. Yeah, I know, but all it takes is one person to kill me. You understand? He meant mentally shot, not shot with a gun? No, I mean literally shot with a gun. No, I mean literally shot with a weapon, like, of their choice, of their choosing. I thought you wanted to move the red counties to learn their mythical ways. No, I love Republicans. Obviously, I'm fascinated by Republicans. I like doing chud shit. I love shooting guns. I would love to go mudding. Okay? I love fucking packing dip and drinking beer in the middle of the day and wearing fucking pastel short shorts and a lacrosse penny. Now I'm moving over less to chud shit to like frat bro, but I love doing all that stuff, okay?
This is a deranged.
But the problem is,
pervert.
But the issue in that circumstance is like, once they figure out who the fuck I am or what I represent or what I believe in, it doesn't matter. You live in Cali, what the fuck are you talking about? Have you been to Barstow, moron? There's just as many crazy white races in Cali as there are in Texas. Yeah, but even California's races, they hit different. Like, in Texas, they're agitated. They believe they own the show. So they have less of a fear moving into Austin as a Barstow or any other like Chud Nation, California. Like any part of the Reagan land is still fearful of like stepping foot inside of Los Angeles. See that blue box right south of Austin? That's where I learned politics and was flipping red counties over 14 years ago before people were even thinking about Texas nationally. Where? Blue box right south of Austin? What, in San Antonio or here? You know, see, most of my friends are racist. Yeah. No, that's fine. That's, bro. Orange County racists are just rich white racist people. They're not going to do anything. I'll shove a fucking granola down their mouth and then their peanut allergy will kick in and kill them. That's not what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of like actual sicko white supremacists who are willing and able to like drive 100 miles across state lines to go and kill someone. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're such a big man, Hasan.
I would like to say thank you for inspiring me to vote Hassel.
I went to Texas and someone there called me illegal. I'm Native American, by the way. Yeah. That's actually a pretty big fucking problem, especially in these areas where there are Native Americans living on borders, on border towns, and I live in Tarrant County for 13 years. As a Jew, they are a special kind of dumb and racist. Holy shit. It's got to be weird.